Hi everybody. Musing Mind, also known as Anna here today. Coming back for another little video, hopefully another short one as well, on touching on a topic here that I think is very important. Last one I was talking about toxic relationships and sort of relationships in general, so I kind of thought I would touch on the topic of human contact, touch in general. Now, I actually think that as a society, we do have a bit of a blockage in that aspect. I feel that, not necessarily all of us, I mean, maybe I mean, like, you know, if you feel that you have a blockage in that aspect, I feel that this comes to, it could be, you know, there could be a lot of reasons why we feel awkward with touching people. Like me personally, I'm actually not really awkward about it. Pretty open about it. I'll give anybody a hug, for example. Like, that's kind of my typical greeting, unless, like, you know, typical Hispanic as well as kiss on the cheek. In Hispanic cultures, I have found as well that it's a little less rigorous, maybe. It's a little less tense. We're all very lovey. We tend to be very warm. Kiss on the cheek, hugs. But here in the U.S., or at least in a lot of societies in general, I feel that touch is not cultivated enough. Not cultivated enough. Why do we shy away from it? Like I said, there could be a lot of reasons. It could be that perhaps we just grew up in an environment that was kind of cold. You know, there wasn't that much nurturing, that much hugging around, that much kissing or anything. My mom, for example, she was very, very loving to me anyway. She was always very, you know, giving me hugs and kisses and stuff. And I'm very much that way with my children. And I actually feel that sometimes we lack that. We feel, and I mean, honestly, I have met people who say that they don't like physical contact, but I don't 100% believe that. And while I do feel that there might obviously be people out there who really just do not enjoy physical contact, which is acceptable as well, I feel that a lot of the times we don't let ourselves be touched or don't let ourselves enjoy touch because we're not comfortable necessarily with our bodies. We're not comfortable with, you know, it's not so much that the person is touching us. I would even venture to say that sometimes we feel that the person's not going to enjoy touching us. Because I know for a fact that I felt that way at some point in my life, various times. And I don't really think about that anymore, personally. But I'm just saying it's something that I feel we should think about. A lot of people perhaps don't realize this and pay attention. Do you give affection as well? A lot of people demand affection. A lot of people ask for affection and ask to be hugged and loved on and whatever, etc. But a lot of times, do we give back what we're asking for? Do we wake up and make sure that we hug the people that we care about? Really, it's scientifically proven that touch releases endorphins and dopamine and etc. Like, you know, all those good chemicals in your brain. So we also have to think about, again, are we putting energy into that which we want to receive as well? Are we giving that affection? Are we being open with that kind of need with, and again, it's not, I feel that we are too closed with our physical affection with perhaps even our children. We always think about affection only in the relationship to our spouse or our loved one, our husband, wife, whatever, boyfriend, girlfriend. But I feel sometimes we lack even in friendships. Like, you know, I feel that as a society we don't give enough value to a hug from a friend, or something as simple as, you know, the kiss on the forehead. It's actually called a third eye kiss, apparently. I learned this recently as well. And it was an interesting thing. Like, I know that everybody at least at some point has felt what it's like, perhaps, hopefully. We've all felt what it's like to be kissed on the forehead. And it's actually a really nice sensation. It's so warm and just securing, comforting. I don't know how else to explain it. You know, it's just such a sweet sensation. And they say that it's actually because you're kissing somebody's third eye, you're kissing somebody's soul, you're acknowledging this person's energetic consciousness, so to speak. So it's much more intimate. But I don't think that intimacy has to be related to sexual intimacy. It doesn't have to mean only the sex that you give, or only the actual like French kisses or anything like that. It's maybe something as simple as holding somebody's hand, giving them a hug, or just like you're okay, or things like that. And I think that society has hypersexualized touching to the point where now it's like if you are a huggy person, it tends to be translated to, oh, you're a slut, or you just like fucking, on both spectrums. Guys can't be overly affectionate because then everybody thinks, oh, they're the whole, and then women are the same but worse. If we're overly affectionate, we're just throwing ourselves at everybody. So, but this leads to boundaries. Sorry, I keep looking over here because I have notes. This leads to the boundaries. This is actually probably one of the biggest, most important aspects of any relationship, or the boundaries that you choose to put on the relationship, or that you want to put on the relationship. Like physical boundaries can stop at a hug. You get what I'm saying? Like just because you always hug that friend, or if two girls, which I've done that, which I don't know why it's so weird for like two guys or a male and a female to do it without it having to be sexual or weird or gay. You get what I'm saying? Like I just feel that if we could push towards feeling comfortable with, even guy friends just giving each other a hug if they know the other one's feeling down, it's still nice. It's still comforting. It's still that sensation of immediate closeness to somebody. It's that immediate sensation that you are not alone. It's like overriding. There's somebody there with you, no matter how you're feeling. So it's definitely something, or just something as simple as like a body touching a body. You get what I'm saying? Like if you're sitting on a couch next to somebody, and sometimes I do feel that people overthink these situations to an extreme, to the point of, but then at the same time, it is a topic in the society where a man might interpret that if a girl is okay with that kind of physical closeness, they automatically are okay with sex. So again, there has to be that sense of boundary. There has to be that respect for boundary on both sides, which is not impossible to find. I remember when I was young, my mom used to tell me like, oh, a man and a woman can't be friends because there's always going to be there's always going to be a sexual interaction between them. And while there have been moments where I did transition from friend to having a sexual encounter, there have been various times when I've had close male friends that were like brothers, and we've slept in the same bed, and they've respected me as a person, and it's not like I was seeking anything else, just that immediate closeness to somebody else, to know that you're not alone in a very, fragile moment. And we all have fragile moments in our lives, and you wouldn't even notice it perhaps that somebody is going through like the worst situation of their life, and they might just be really good at keeping it in. And you don't know how much just a simple hug and that immediate sense of closeness to somebody could help that person. And it doesn't have to be related to gender, sex, blah, 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 whatever. It could be a stranger, frankly. I don't know how okay we are with doing that, but I'm just saying, like, I have witnessed moments where somebody has extended, suicide attempts, things like that, where we've extended that kindness, that warmth to somebody, and because of that, we have, saved a life or changed their perspectives, just really helped somebody in that moment where they're like, shit is horrible. So things like embracing and, third eye kisses, or you kiss on the forehead, are actually, I think, very innocent ways of expressing love and acceptance to somebody that you care about, And I don't think that we as a society should necessarily view that form of touch, or just like think of touch necessarily as an automatic go for sex or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? So I do think it's just a topic that I wanted to touch on quickly. Just don't be afraid. If you're overthinking, sometimes I do think we overthink, like, oh, maybe that person doesn't want to. But we can innately kind of sense, like, you could try. I'm just saying, giving somebody affection doesn't have to be viewed as anything than just a loving gesture. So if that's where it's coming from you, and somebody tries to interpret it a different way, then you just put your boundary up and be like, sorry, this is not what I wanted, this is not what I was trying to go for, and just move on, you know, or just say it from the beginning. I don't know, but the point is, we do have the power to set these boundaries. We do have the power to acknowledge these boundaries. And some people really are not just out for sex just because they're gonna give you a fucking hug. You know what I'm saying? I just feel that it's definitely one of those things that's been hypersexualized, and something that I think we should think about. Don't be afraid to, you know, hold somebody's hand in a moment of uncertainty, or just put your arm around their shoulders or something. It doesn't have to be like a full-on hug. You don't have to like press your full body up against them, but just that physical closeness, you know, just that it's helpful. I think everybody can attest to that. I think everybody can say like, yeah, that's, I don't think I've ever really not wanted somebody to give me a hug if I felt bad, you know? But anyway, I hope that it's made a bit of sense to everybody, and maybe just help break down a little bit of barriers. Don't forget that if you want a hug, give a hug. I'm just saying that the more we give, it's true, the more we will receive. And I've learned that so much throughout these years. And I just hope to really imprint that upon the mind of anybody that watches these videos. It's just, if you want something, give it. You know, it's really, it sounds kind of biblical. I'm not Christian at all, but I'm just saying it sounds a little biblical in the sense that, you know, treat others as you wish to be treated. And it will come back to you twofold and threefold. It really does produce, because people will remember that and want to share that with you. So, peace to everybody. I love you all. Thank you for watching. And if you like, subscribe or anything, leave a comment if you don't agree. And if you do, cool. If not, have a wonderful weekend, Thanksgiving, whatever you celebrate. And see you soon.